Hey all, happy Tuesday and welcome to the lunchtime vlogs. Didn't think I was going to make it today, but I got a chance to go out and visit with a friend I hadn't seen in over a year, and it was really nice to get out of the house and do something different. And tonight's topic is on signs you're an introvert. Now, I very much consider myself an introvert. I like my time, my space, and a lot of quiet. It's not so much about being shy as it is about I just like being in my own energy, I guess. So, without further ado, I have an article I found and I thought I'd share. And it is if you can relate to these 21 signs, you're an introvert. It was really interesting reading on the signs that you are an introvert. Number one was that your inner monologue never stops. You have a distinct inner voice that's always running in the back of your mind, and it's hard to shut off. Sometimes you can't sleep at night because your mind is still going. Thoughts from your past haunt you, like, I can't believe I said that stupid thing 5 years ago. Happens to me quite often. Number two, you enjoy spending plenty of time alone. You have no problem staying home on a Saturday night. In fact, you look forward to it. You Netflix chill really means watching Netflix and relaxing. Or maybe your thing is reading, playing video games, drawing, cooking, writing, knitting tiny hats for cats. Everybody has a craft. Or just putzing around the house. Well, I don't really wander around my house, but I definitely enjoy my time and my space. Whatever you preferred solo activity is, you do it as much as your schedule allows. You feel good when you're alone. Um, your time alone is free time. And I also consider it my me time. Number three is you do your best thinking alone. When you're alone, time isn't just about indulging in your favorite hobbies, it's about giving your mind time to decompress. When you're with other people, it might feel like your brain is too overloaded to really work in the way it should. In solitude, you're free to tune into your inner monologue. You might be more creative and or have deeper insights when you're alone. I definitely can concur with that one. I think some of my best thinking's done alone. Number four was you often feel lonelier in a crowd than when you're alone. Absolutely true. There's something about being with a group of people that makes you feel disconnected from yourself. Maybe it's because it's hard for you to hear your inner voice when there is so much noise around you. Whatever the reason, an introvert, you crave immediate, intimate moments with deep connection to those that usually aren't around when you're in a crowd. I definitely like it. When, especially like tonight, I got to enjoy it. Was quiet. We were outdoors. It's a nice summer evening, and it was just nice to connect on a quiet level. Number five, you feel like you're faking it when you have to network. Walking up to strangers and introducing yourself, you'd rather stick tiny needles in your fingernails. Very true. But you know there's value in it, so you might do it anyway, except you feel like a phony the entire time. If you're anything like me, you've had to teach yourself how to do it. In the moment you have the activity of your public persona. You say things to yourself like smile, make eye contact, use your loud, confident voice. Then when you're finished, you feel beat, you need downtime to recharge, and you wonder do other people have to try this hard when you're meeting new people? And it can be a challenge. I know by the time I get home from work, I like the solitude of my own environment. Number 6 was you have no desire to be the center of attention. At work, you'd rather pull your boss aside after a meeting and have a one-on-one conversation or emails with your ideas. Definitely. Then explain to a room full of people the expectations, or the exception is when you feel passionate about something, then you'll risk the overstimulation when you think speaking up can truly make the difference. I definitely find when I am doing a team project that I have to be excited in order to feel like I want to get involved with a whole bunch of chatty patties, as I say it every once in a while. Chatty Cathy's, however you want to term it. Definitely one of the signs is number 7. You're better at writing your thoughts than speaking them. You'd rather text a friend than to call her, or email your coworkers than to sit down at a staff meeting. Writing gives you the time to reflect on what you say and how you say it. It allows you to edit your thoughts, craft your message just so. Plus, there's less pressure when you're typing words into your phone alone than when you're saying it to somebody in real time. You may even be drawn to writing as a career. I definitely enjoy writing. I definitely have to say that. So, a lot of what I see here in the article definitely reflects on me. Talking on the phone does not, number 8, talking on the phone does not sound like fun way to pass time. Exactly. I'm very happy to text because when you're talking on the phone, sometimes it just feels, I don't know, exhausting. One of my introvert friends is always calling me, or extrovert, I should say. One of my extrovert friends is always calling me when she's alone in her car. She figures that although her eyes and hands and feet are currently occupied, her mouth is not. Plus, there are no people around. How boring. So she reaches for her phone. However, this is not the case for me. When I have a few spare minutes of silence and solitude, I have no desire to fill that time with chit chat. I definitely like having my satellite radio going because there's always something that I can find to listen to that occupies my mind. Another one, you avoid small talk whenever possible. When a coworker is talking down the hall, okay, here's a good scenario. When a coworker is walking down the hall toward you, have you ever felt the need to turn into another room in order to avoid having to say, "Hey, what's up?" conversation with him or her? Or you have waited a few minutes in your apartment when you heard your neighbors in the hallway so you don't have to chit chat. If so, you might be an introvert. It's not that introverts are afraid of making small talk, it's just we'd prefer not to. And number 10 was you've been told you're too intense. I don't think I've ever been told that, but this stems from dislike of small talk. If it were up to you, mindless chit chat would be banished and philosophical discussions would be the norm. You'd much rather sit down with someone and discuss meanings of life, or at the very least, exchange some real honest thoughts. Meaningless interactions are the introvert's antidote to social burnout. Agree. Number 11. Oh my gosh, it's like self-reflecting on myself as seeing this article. You don't do parties to meet new people. Sure, you party every once in a while, but when you do, you usually don't go with the intention of making new friends. You're content with a few close friendships that you already have. Definitely. Number 12 was you shut down after too much socializing. Recent research shows that everyone gets drained from socializing socializing. Cannot talk tonight. Eventually, even extroverts. That's because socializing expands energy, but introverts likely tire faster than extroverts. Okay, introverts get drained easily. Extroverts, all right, let's start that. Let's pause, rewind, and start number 12. You shut down after too much socializing. Research has shown that everyone gets drained from socializing eventually, even the extroverts. And that's because socializing expands energy. But introverts likely tire faster than extroverts, and they experience social burnout with more intensity. They have been they may even experience something dubbed as introvert hangover, which is when you feel extremely fatigued and perhaps even physically unwell after long outings of socialization, which is very true. You notice details that others miss. Introverts, especially highly sensitive introverts, can become overwhelmed by too much stimuli, but there's an upside to our sensitivity. We notice details that others may miss. For example, you might notice the subtle change in your friend's demeanor and signals that she's upset, but oddly, no one else in the room sees it. Or you may just be highly in tune into color, space, texture, making you an incredible visual artist. Number 14 was you concentrate for long periods of time. Definitely, when I'm alone, I am hyper focused on what I am doing. You can write for long hours. You get into a zone. I just keep going. If you're an introvert, you're more likely to have your own hobby, pet project that you can work on particularly forever. That's because introverts are great at focusing alone for long periods of time. Number 15 would definitely be one. You live in your head. You might daydream so much that you tell people to get out of your head or come back down to earth, or people tell you to get out of your head or come back down to earth. That's because your inner world is almost as lively as your virtual world. Number 16 was actually you like to people watch. Actually, you just like to observe in general whether people, nature, introverts are usually very natural observers. Number 17 was you've been told you're a good listener. That I have been told. You don't mind giving the stage to someone else for a bit and listening. You're not clamoring to get your thoughts out, and you don't need to talk to think like many introverts do. Extroverts. Extroverts being outgoing people. Number 18 was you have a small circle of friends, which is definitely true for me. You're close with just a few, and you consider everyone else to be an acquaintance. That's because introverts only have so much people energy to spend. So you choose your relationships carefully when budgeting that relationship. Number 19 was you don't get a high off your environment. There are reasons big parties are not your thing. Introverts and extroverts differ significantly and how their brains process the experience of reward centers. And there's science to that one. Number 20 was you're an old soul. Introverts tend to be observant, take a lot take in a lot of information, and they think before they speak. We're analytical and reflective, and we're often interested in discovering the deeper meaning or underlying patterns behind events. Because of this, introverts can seem wise even for a younger age, which is definitely very true. Number 21, you alternate between being social and being alone. Introverts relish being alone. I love my solitude. We have the freedom to tune into our inner voice and tune out the noise of the world. But the introverts don't always want to be alone. As human beings, we're wired to connect with others. And as introverts, we long to interact meaningfully. So introverts live in two worlds, introverts and extroverts. We visit the world of people, but the solitude of the inner world will always be our home. Definitely. I really enjoyed that article that I'd read. I will be sure to actually drop that link into the about section and hopefully you enjoyed. So I put up a community post stating that there would be no video for tomorrow, but however, I wanted to get my ducks in a row because I feel if I stop now or if I interrupt or postpone, I get sidetracked and then I get behind. So I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you had a great Tuesday or are having a great Tuesday and look forward to Hump Day Wednesday coming up. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, evening, or morning, or have a great good night.